Number 10. Honduran White Bat. The Honduran white bat is one of the world's cutest and most exotic animals. They have fluffy white coats, their ears, face, nose, and parts of their legs and wings are bright orange since their nose protrudes from their face in a triangular shape. Scientists call members of their family leaf-nosed bats. Honduran white bats live only in eastern Costa Rica and western Panama. When they roost, they hang close together, upside down in the center of the leaf. The tents help protect them during the daytime from rain, the hot sun, and predators. In fact, the bats choose leaves that are 6 feet off the ground, high enough to be out of the reach of terrestrial predators. The stems of heliconia plants are not very strong, and predators brushing against the leaf causes the bat's tent to shake. This alerts the bats to danger, and they fly quickly away. When the sun shines through the leaves of their tent, it makes the bats' white coats appear green, making them hard to spot. The bats rarely return to the same tent for more than a day. Number 9. Fennex Fox. The Fennex Fox is the smallest of all the world's foxes, but its large ears, measuring 5 inches, appear to be on loan from a bigger relative, Fennex foxes. Elsewhere in North Africa, their nocturnal habits help them deal with the searing heat of the desert environment, and some physical adaptations help as well. Their distinctive bat-like ears radiate body heat and help keep the foxes cool. They also have long, thick hair that insulates them during cold nights and protects them from the hot sun during the day. Even the fox's feet are hairy, which helps them perform like snowshoes and protects them from the extremely hot sand. The fox's feet are also effective shovels for frequent digging. Fennex foxes live in underground dens. These foxes dwell in small communities, each inhabited by perhaps 10 individuals. Fennex foxes are opportunistic eaters. They forage for plants but also eat rodents, eggs, reptiles, and insects. Number 8. Water opossum. The water opossum is a marsupial of the family. This semi-aquatic creature is found in and near the freshwater streams and lakes in Mexico, Central and South America, Argentina. The water opossum is a semi-aquatic marsupial found in the Americas. Its fur is in a marbled gray and black pattern, while the muzzle, eye stripe, and crown are all black. The 4 feet can be used to feel for and grab prey as the animal swims, propelled by its tail and webbed back feet. Water opossums are solitary creatures. They live in bankside burrows, emerging after dusk to swim and search for prey, which they eat on the bank. These are excellent swimmers and divers. Their broad webbed hind feet are used for propulsion through water, moving with alternate strokes. This increases the efficiency of the water opossum's movement through the water. The long tail of these animals also helps them in swimming. When threatened, water opossums usually jump into the water and often this way escape predation. Number 7. Solenodon. Solenodons are amazing mammals. Solenodon can be found exclusively on the island of Hispaniola in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Most specimens have been discovered in northern Hispaniola. Solenodon can be found in wooded and brushy areas, often near areas of agriculturally developed land. Because solenodons are nocturnal, they find shelter during the day in tunnel systems that they construct by burrowing through organic material and soil. They also take refuge in hollowed logs and trees, caves, and cracks in rocks. Only 2 Solenodon species are known to science, and both are found on Caribbean islands, one in Hispaniola and the other in Cuba. They are now rarely seen by locals because of their reduced numbers, but also because they are nocturnal and live in burrows in forested areas. To do so, they employ 2 interesting adaptations. First, their snout is hosted on a ball and socket joint and used to search for prey. Second, they produce venom from glands on their lower jaw and deliver it by deeply grooved incisor teeth. Number 6. Axolotl. The axolotl is a cute and exotic animal, but these axolotls are impressive enough on their own, with the ability to regenerate lost limbs. Those sweet little smiles can quickly turn into vacuum cleaners when it's time to eat. Axolotls suck in their prey, which includes crustaceans, mollusks, insect eggs, and small fish. Axolotls have long fascinated the public. If axolotls spend prolonged periods of time in shallow water, axolotls have amazing healing abilities. Normal wound healing in animals occurs through the growth of scar tissue, and this means that most animals won't regrow a lost limb. However, the axolotl is fully capable of complete limb regrowth. Axolotls are often referred to as Mexican walking fish, but they are actually amphibians that prefer to live their entire lives underwater. These remarkable creatures can regenerate almost every part of their bodies if necessary, including their spines, internal organs, and even some parts of their brains. They have a very unique appearance and are extremely popular as exotic pets. Number 5. Olinguito. The Olinguito is the smallest member of the raccoon family. Its body length is long 355 mm plus a tail 13 to 17 inches in length, and it weighs 2 pounds. These solitary animals live in trees and are mostly nocturnal. It is an adept jumpers that can leap from tree to tree in the forest canopy. The Olinguito mainly eats fruit but may also eat some insects and nectar. The Olinguito is found only in cloud forests of the northern Andes Mountains in Ecuador and Colombia at high elevations. Males and females are similar in size. The Olinguito is the smallest species. In 2013 they were described as a new species. This animal looks like between a teddy bear and a cat, and for more than 100 years has been mistakenly identified. Number 4. Pangolin. These solitary, primarily nocturnal animals, a startled pangolin will cover its head with its front legs, exposing its scales to any potential predator. If touched or grabbed, it will roll up completely into a ball, while the sharp scales on the tail can be used to lash out. Pangolins are solitary and active, mostly at night. Most live on the ground, but some, like the black-bellied pangolin, also climb trees. Like anteaters, pangolins have long snouts and even longer tongues, which they use to lap up ants and termites. They excavate from mounds with their powerful front claws. They're able to close their noses and ears to keep ants out when they're eating. When threatened, they roll into a ball like an armadillo, also called scaly anteaters. Because of their preferred diet, pangolins are the most trafficked mammal in the world, with demand primarily in Asia and in growing amounts in Africa. Number 3. Tamandua. The tamandua is a small mammal. This interesting mammal is at home both in trees and on the ground. The tamandua is most active at night, often nesting during the day in hollow tree trunks. It has small eyes and poor vision, but can hear and smell quite well. The bad smell lets other wildlife know where the tamandua is and usually sends them in the opposite direction. If a predator does get too close, the tamandua may hiss and then release a very unpleasant odor. The tamandua's powerful forearms and claws can also be used for defense if it feels threatened. While in a tree, the tamandua holds onto a branch with its hind feet and tail, so its arms and long claws are free to fight. Tamanduas are found throughout much of South America, throughout all of Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, Suriname, French Guiana, Brazil, and Paraguay. This species also inhabits parts of Uruguay, Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, and Venezuela. Number 2. Sugar glider. The sugar glider is small and squirrel-sized, often compared with flying squirrels. As nocturnal animals, they see well in the dark with their big black eyes. They are excellent aviators thanks to their wide field of vision, and they can triangulate distances and glide ratios by bobbing their head before launch. Once airborne, they steer toward their target by tilting their hands and arms, adjusting the tension in their wings, and using their long, flat, bushy tail as a rudder. The sugar glider's main distinguishing feature is a soft membrane between its wrists and ankles called a patagium, which allows it to glide from tree to tree as though using a parachute. These wrist-winged gliders can float on air up to a distance nearly the width of a football field. They have mostly gray fur, but their underbellies are white and their heads have black stripes. These common tree-dwelling marsupials are native to tropical and cool temperate forests in Australia, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. Sugar gliders nest in tree hollows with up to 10 other adults. Number 1. Finger monkey. The finger monkeys are miniature-sized animals with unique animal species. They are commonly referred to as pygmy marmosets and are the most miniature monkeys ever to exist on the planet. Being tiny-sized animals, finger monkeys attract almost every human being. These little creatures are the smallest species of monkeys in the world and are so tiny that they can fit in the palm of your hand. But that is not the only fascinating thing about these creatures. Finger monkeys have fingernails they use as claws to climb trees. Butterflies, fruits, berries, and tree sap are all favorite foods of this small omnivore. One male and one female pygmy marmoset breed and live together for a lifetime. As the name implies, these adorable animals are true monkeys. They're the smallest species of monkey and one of the smallest primates in the world. All marmosets are relatively small, but the pygmy grows no longer than 4 to 6 inches. Baby pygmy marmosets are tiny enough to cling to your finger, much like other monkeys cling to tree branches.